And welcome to Overwatch Cavalry Club. We have in our Diamond Division in the we have Salt.exe versus Stealth. This is going to be a great game, and I'm very excited to see what both of these teams have coming up. I am K Wing, and I'm here with my co-commentator Zella. Zella, are you as excited for this game as I am?
Dude, honestly, I'm always excited to watch some Overwatch games, whether it be Gold, Plat, or Diamond Division. It's always fun to see what teams can come up with and what teams, kind of do in their free time. But, as you were saying earlier, we got one heck of a match coming up for us. We have NaCl.exe and Stealth coming out today. Our first map is going to be Nepal, but what do you think we're going to be seeing out of these two teams? I know Stealth used to be a little bit of a Pharaoh main herself, but are we sure we're going to be able to see that, in Diamond Division?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting thing because in lower elos, Farah is a very tough hero to counter just with how much mobility she has in the air, especially with a Mercy pocket. But as you get higher up into the ranks, and your hit scans start to better know how to counter the Farah, her movement, her just her entire kit, she becomes less and less effective. But you can still definitely get value out of her, and I've seen a bunch of different fires get value out of her, even in higher ranks, and even in going into like tier 1, tier 2. You can see Pharahs just pop off in different metas.
Yeah, you always see Farahs. You get a ton of value, so long as they know what they're doing. But in regards to the standings, we do have NaCl slightly seated above Stealth here. They have a 6 map differential above Stealth. They are 1-1 versus Stealth's 0-1. Who knows? Maybe they might be able to end Stealth's career here and take home their first victory as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're definitely going to see Stealth hungry for that win. Well, both these teams are going to be hungry for that win, of course. But especially if you are 0-1, you're going to be hungry for that first win.
Yeah, I know how it is. I kind of was on the lower end of the team down in Gold Division and Silver Division a while back, and getting that first win just felt so invigorating. But regardless of that, all we really got to do now is introduce our lovely rosters. How about you take us in and show us what Salt has for us?
All right, for Salt on the tank line, we have Silver and Night Knight. On the DPS line, we have Ghosty Man and Wasp. And then on the supports, rounding out, we have Yixi and Widowfaker. It's a really good starting lineup, and I'm interested to see sort of what tank compositions these are going to come out here, because we've seen a lot of different tank compositions, and especially on Nepal, you can see different compositions for different rounds. You can see the double shield, you can see the dive. You can even see maybe some brawl. And there's just so much that you can do, and I'm interested to see which one of these teams will be able to adapt different play styles based on the map geometry.
True. Not one tank composition always works for, every single map. And I definitely agree with you on that, especially with how open some maps are compared to others. You might see a little bit more of the double shield on like something similar. I can't even remember the name of it, the pit map. Shrine, I think. I think it's Shrine. Shrine, you might see a little bit more double shield. You might see the Orisa Sigma get a little bit more value out of that. Whereas on Village, for example, you might see more of a Ryan Zarya aggressive style with that choke there.
Absolutely, and there's just so much to do, and it's going to come down to who is able to play their style better and also adapt to the enemy team style. So I'm interested to see what is going to happen when we get into Nepal.
But enough about stealth here, or enough about Salt here. Why don't we take a peek here at what we have for stealth? On the tank lines, we have Liquid Zell, or Zell as they're commonly known. Dat Asian. I'm not, a little bit of a newer name here for me, Dat Asian. We have Obi-Wan, also known as Mosaic inside the server, I believe, and Stealth RTG. Stealth, as I kind of said earlier about being a Pharaoh main herself, might get a little bit more value out of that on Shrine. Red Hoodie and Kashushi. I don't want to I know for a fact I butchered that name, but please don't kill me. rounding it out and picking up the heals.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about the Pharah so much, but it's going to be interesting to see that sort of duel in the skies and who's going to come out on top. And I think that will be sort of the X factor for this game, whether or not Stealth is going to be able to get that first win. We're going to have to see whether or not Stealth RTG is going to be able to, whether she's going to be able to beat out any hit scan players that are going to come out on the side of Salt.
Oh my gosh, the chat is just absolutely insane today. And it looks like both teams are giving us the ready. Yep, we got the ready from both teams here. So we are going to get into our first map here on Nepal.
All right, I'm interested to see what sort of map we're going to start out on, because that's going to depend on what we're going to see in terms of comps. We do have Village, I believe it's called here.
Yes, this is Village.
Yeah, I always get the names wrong, so I wanted to make sure. But we do have Village coming in here, and gonna be a little bit before we see definitively what these teams are going to do. But we do see the fire coming up from Stealth. So just like we before, like we were talking about. With that Fire Mercy, there's no hit scan on the side of Salt, so unless they switch, I'm probably going to give the advantage here towards Stealth just with that Fire.
You know, we are going to see a little bit of an advantage here for Stealth with no hit scan, but you know, unfortunately, you can't always make that work with Ghosty Man and Wasp taking up the Brawl ability directly on point.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a good way to beat that Fire Mercy combo, is just to realize that the rest of the team is just 4 people, and you can go in, take that 4v6, ignore the Fire Mercy, and if you win that ground game, you can take this fight. We're going to go in here. We have that Asian falling pretty low, but the Reinhardt's just flashing into each other. That Asian very, very low here. He needs to get healed up. Both the tanks on the side himself very low here. And that is going to be the weakness. Oh, but that Asian defense comes onto Night Knight. That is a bit of the weakness of this Fire Mercy comp, is you don't have that second support to give more heal onto the tanks. But Silver is going to find the pickup on Giselle. Oh, and Kashushi is going to go down here. That Mercy is so vital to this Fire Mercy combo to provide healing on the Mercy, and now Stealth is going to have to play a lot more passive. Stealth RTG specifically is going to have to play a lot more passive, but just with all these picks coming in, you're going to have to see Stealth going back. That is going to be a fight win for Assault, though Stealth did get point capture first, 24% for them.
Honestly, I'm quite surprised that Data Asian didn't fall faster than he actually did, solely because of the fact that his Ana got walled off and his Mercy was stuck on top of the Pharah. So he kind of had to fend for himself a little bit earlier on in that fight. You know, we're kind of seeing it with Zell taking up the opening pick.
Absolutely, we have Nanos coming out both sides. We have the Nano Ryan's coming out. Stealth RTG gets the barrage onto Ghosty Man, and also getting the primary fire into NaCl.exe as well. That's a good pick, though. Shatter comes out, doesn't find anything. Night Knight with the counter Shatter does find 2, Widowmaker and Silver. Silver both going down, both of them going down there. Night Knight getting the charge onto Obi-Wan is going to be a crucial pick, but it's going to be rezzed, and that is a fight win. Taking it back for Stealth, doing very well here.
I feel like Night Knight could have held on to his Shatter in that situation, if not for the sole fact that he had already lost 2. He was probably trying to go for a slight hero play and just try and make it so that way his team would be able to hold on for a little bit more percentage, and that just didn't work in his favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stealth RTG just getting an early pick there onto Wasp, gonna force the members of Salt to play back a little bit, and just going through this little tiny choke room here. This little tiny room is just where Farah is going to destroy your team if you're not very, very careful. She's just going to use her rockets and the splash damage that they provide, and she's just going to get that anti-nade just puts so much pressure onto Salt, getting 4 people, and so much pressure. The Graviton Surge comes out. Oh, but Obi-Wan is going to go down there on the Reaper, trying to ult the Blizzard, coming in on the point. Oh, very unfortunate. We're going to see that Asian getting split off because of the charge there. But the charge will find Yixi, so an important pick. Ghosty Man is going to find the pick up onto that Asian because of that charge. And even though it's even, we're going to see the members of Stealth going back here.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's not a good idea to take those easy fights, especially seeing as, you know, there's 4 ults here. We just saw Widowmaker also give up, and, you know, Wasp coming out with a nice clean 4K.
On the Death Blossom, getting the Nano, and just destroying the members of Stealth. That is just a quick fight win for them.
You know, that's just pretty much saying, hey, you can't even take the fight to us because we're just gonna get rid of it before it even starts.
Absolutely, but if we look in terms of ult bank, not a lot of ults on the side of Salt, but a few ults on the side of Stealth. Crucially, that Nano, which onto the right target can be a game changer for that wall from Ghosty Man. Very, very crucial. Splits the team, but it does not find any picks crucially. So very low percentage-wise for the members of Stealth. They need to get on this point to contest to get the overtime here. Oh, a lot of ultimates coming out. The Shatter is going to come out, doesn't find anything, but the Blizzard going to find 2 freezes and a lot of picks coming in on the side of Salt. Zell is going to find a pick up on the Wasp, so it's not going to be a clean fight here. But oh, no more touches on the side of Stealth, and that's going to be round 1 going to the side of Salt.
You know, the only way that it could have been closer in that situation is if you actually took it to a 99-100 situation. But honestly, I would take 85 just as much. It shows that you still have that fight and you have that back and forth between the 2 teams. And it shows that, you know, you guys aren't going down easily.
Yeah, absolutely. That was not a stomp one way or the other at all. It's going to be very, very close, and I'm very excited to see what we're going to have coming forward. So a little bit of changes. We're going to have Red Hoodie, looks like, going on to Lucio to speed the team out of choke, of Spawn, and then switching on to the Ana. And we are going to have the same tanks and the same support line here, and almost the same support line, with the exception of the Brig over Mercy. And Ghosty Man going very low on this Genji here. As we get into the clash of the Reinhardt, coming in here, and that Asian is just going to go down. His team a little far behind him there, and that's just going to be point presence coming in on the side of Salt here, and it's going to be very, very hard for Stealth to push in and actually try and get any sort of ground, and they're going to have Salt take the point here.
Losing your main tank in that situation is also very unfortunate. We see Night Knight falling dangerously low. Wasp is taking out Stealth for the opening pick here, also taking out Obi-Wan.
Wasp just showing dominance on this Ashe here, switching onto the hit scan, and that was the one thing that I was concerned about coming into the first map here, the absence of hit scans. Not that Wasp was any slacker on the Reaper there, but Wasp just getting pick after pick. That's 3 in this sort of fight here, and that is just a quick fight win for Salt here, and they're picking up even more, 36% and climbing.
But when you're looking at ults here, you know, you have both supports online for, you know, both teams, and you have the Shatter coming out for both as well. But who knows, you might have that Barrage be that one game-changing ult that they need.
Yeah, absolutely. Last Barrage we saw from Stealth RTG, it was amazing by her. It just had so much, but the Barrage is not going to come out like that. Stealth RTG goes down. Wasp showing just aerial superiority on the ground there. That was amazing coming out. And we have the Nano coming in. The Shatter is going to be blocked by Night Knight. The Blade coming in from Ghosty Man, gotta catch Obi-Wan. And that is a huge loss there. Ghosty Man finding another pick onto Zell here. And just the DPS line of Salt here is just being dominant. Stealth RTG though, trying to take on NaCl.exe, made sure to turn this one around here, as that Asian is going to push in so far. He's behind Night Knight at this point. Oh, the Shatter coming in! That is slapped by Red Hoodie. Amazing from Red Hoodie there, just sleeping. The shattering Reinhardt is going to turn this round around here. 99%, however, going in the favor of Salt. So even if Stealth is able to pull up the fight win, which it looks like they will, they're going to have to be perfect in this hold here.
Honestly, in my quote-unquote professional opinion, I'm kidding, flat chat. In my quote-unquote professional opinion, when you have Wasp being as dominant as they are at the moment, it might just be better for you to switch off Pharah and just get onto something that can be slightly more useful. Maybe a Mage or a Reaper.
You say that, but as you say that, as if Stealth heard you herself, she gets the pickoff onto Ghosty Man. That's going to Ghosty Man. And that's just going to delay the push coming in from Salt so much here as they wait for them to get back.
I mean, it's just absolutely insane what is available to people when you just have these small abilities online here. Dominant scatter.
Very good, especially since the Nano was on Night there. Is going to Night is going to catch Red Hoodie, but it's going to give us a slice for it. With Genji here on the flank, going to do some damage, but going to get spotted out. He's going to have to be forced to retreat back down mid, as will the rest of Salt.
I mean, very solid fight when coming out for Stealth here, but they just got to do it again with a quick regroup. Stealth taking out Wasp here as well.
Absolutely, and the barrage comes in, catches Ghostly Man. The Shatter does come in, catches one, but Wasp Bob there is going to get the kill on Stealth. Stealth RGG again, finding another pick. It's going to be a scrappy fight here, but still, Stealth is climbing this percentage here, getting to 90%, which means that if Salt doesn't win this now, they're going to lose this round. The Nano going to come in onto the Sigma. Not usually a Nano target. Usually you're going to go for the Reinhardt, but Night, even without the Nano, is going to get the pickoff onto multiple people. Ghostly Man with the blade going to find the pickoff onto two as well, and that's going to be the point. Flipping for the side of Salt, and it's going to be very, very hard for anyone on the side of Stealth to touch, and they're not going to. That will be round one, going the side of Salt.exe.
It may have been going good for Salt here, and we are seeing it going good for them here. But if this game was anything or is anything to expect for the rest of them, we might just be seeing a map 5 today.
Absolutely, we do see just that amazing Nano, as well as the Gravitic Flux, as well as the Death Blossom just coming in, getting so many kills.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic play coming in, and Widowfaker getting the very, very solid sleep off, or not sleep, the Nano off for Wasp in order to make that an actual thing. In order for that to be the play.
Yeah, absolutely. That was not a solo effort there. That was absolutely a team effort, going into just making that ultimate do so well. As we get into our next map here, map 2, as we're going to go to King's Row, a very popular map.
Scrim's Row?
Yeah, absolutely, Scrim's Row. Yeah, Scrim's Row, very popular, very brawl-centric, so we might see that Ryan Zarya that we were talking about coming in here on King's Row, just with how close quarters some of these fights can be, especially on the street phase on point B. What do you think in terms of the comps that we might see?
Honestly, I'm still expecting to see Wasp and Obi-Wan on that Ashe, especially with as dominant as she has been lately, with her more recent buffs / nerfs coming out to just be a stronger hero overall. I kind of expect to still see that Ashe, as kind of as I was saying. Maybe Genji, because we did see Ghosty Man pulling that out as well. So honestly, I'm kind of interested, but I still expect to see the Ryan Zarya or the Ryan Sigma coming out for tank compositions.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of choices that you have on the DPS line here, and we do, the Pharah Mercy on the side of Stealth is not going to be completely out of the realm of possibility. So I'm completely interested to see what they do, as well as whether or not, if the Pharah doesn't work, will they switch off the Pharah? But rather, will they switch off the Mercy as well? Because Ashe Mercy combos are very powerful with the Ashe. The damage boosted headshot when you're aiming down sights does over 200 damage, which will kill most of the cast, which is a very powerful move. So I'm interested to see what happens if that change has to happen. What exactly is going to happen?
Honestly, I'm always interested to see what we got going on here. We got some amazing games of Overwatch playing for us, but both teams are ready, and we are going on in to King's Row.
All right, going in. We are going to have stealth on the defense, and we're gonna have stealth on the attack. Pardon me. And
Red team's always attack. Come on.
Yeah, blue is defense, red is attack. Whatever. Can't read the colors. Yeah.
K-Wing, are you colorblind and not telling us?
No, I'm not.
I'm kidding.
Yes, absolutely. But
about 7 more seconds here before Athena lets us see what we have going on. Just a rough idea is what we're seeing here. We have a Rein Zarya coming out for the attack, as well as a Rein Zarya coming out for the defense.
Yeah, we were
honestly
absolutely
not
right.
surprised.
Yeah, honestly, the defense here is going to be the roster that's going to be more locked in per se. So on your left side of the screen, that's going to be what's not going to change in the next 25 seconds, while the attackers do have the option to switch pretty much whenever in these next 25 seconds, as well as throughout the first attack. But that is neither here nor there at this point. But we do see the Rein Zarya and then the Ashe McCree. We have the double cowboy, as well as the Mercy with the damage boost on the Ashe, as I was talking about. We have the double sniper coming in from stealth here.
Honestly, it's going to be quite interesting to see how both these DPS play styles counteract each other. You have the double sniper taking people out at range, but then you have the more overall ability of the McCree Ashe.
Yeah, absolutely. And just Ghosty Man so fast on this ult charge, has 41% already. So much ult charge coming in here on the side of stealth with just how much they're able to shoot at the attackers as they're approaching. And that's going to be 2 picks coming in for them. And stealth is going to be forced to back up here.
I may not be a tank player myself, but I've kind of been noticing that Dat Asian has been swinging while they're purple. And that is not exactly, the world's greatest idea when you have no way of getting healing.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very tough as a Reinhardt to deal with everything that's coming in. You're bearing the brunt of all the CC, all the damage effects, all of the turning, all of the anti-nades, all of the different kinds of the stuns, the shatters, the shield bashes, the flashbangs, etc., the sleeps, as well as Night gets slapped. The Bob coming in here is going to force stealth to back up and take line of sight away from it to avoid the shatter. And the shatter coming in gets through, but Night is going to get taken down. That Asian going to take him down, will give his life for it, and it will not matter as immediately Yixi comes in and reses.
We are seeing a lot of very strong plays and a lot of dominant plays coming out from Night, just kind of getting his shatters past that Asian. I mean, we gotta see something here, especially with both tank ults online for stealth here.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of ults online for stealth. We're gonna have 4, as well as a couple coming in mid-fight. So we see the grabs come in quick. We're going to see the grab dragon. They don't have the defensive ults to defend against it. And the Nano is going to come in onto the Genji. I'm not exactly sure if that was perfectly necessary, but they do win the fight there with 3 ults, crucially, compared to I think just 1 coming out on the side of Salt. But they are going to go into
that was the Nano for Salt, but I can kind of see Kashushi's idea there, because Obi-Wan at the beginning of the fight was already 60-70 his fight. Their thought process must have been, hey, if I nano my Genji, he'll have played for the next fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say that, Obi-Wan is able to come in and get the pickup onto Ghosty Man. You see the Deadeye come in, catch that Asian, and the grab catches a couple here. Gonna take down Zell. Wasp finding another pickup. Red Hoodie gonna go low here on this Mercy. And oh, Ghosty Man up at the top there is going to find the pick onto Stealth RTG as she is going back into spawn. That is brutal there, and this choke, especially on King's Row, is a tough choke to break through, and it can waste a lot of time.
But we do see Night Knight getting most of their shatter block. That is going to the counter shatter, but Night Knight also blocking it. Just these teams are at odds with each other.
Yeah, absolutely, but the Bob destroying so much damage here is going to force the members of Stealth to just hide in this hotel here and just wait out the Bob and go back into spawn. Again, just so aggressive here from Salt. They're going to be pushing even past this choke and putting pressure on them as they even leave spawn.
I mean, that's what I would do in this situation. You want to go up past that choke, and then when you're in a little bit of trouble, just kind of walk back a little bit and just play. You want to play your advantage. You want to play the match.
Absolutely, the Nanoblade is going to come in here. We're going to see, oh, he gets stunned, but he's still going in the back. He's going to catch, Obi-Wan is going to catch Ghosty Man, and that is a good fight for, on the side of Stealth here. The Nano is going to come out onto Night Knight, so good ultimate to have come out. If you are Stealth, you do want to sort of evenly trade there. You get the Nano coming out on the other side. And you do see a few switches. You see Ghosty Man going to the Genji, and simultaneously Widowmaker going off of the Ana onto the Moira. The Deadeye comes out. Oh, and the Shatter catches 3. The Dragons are going to come out as well. They're going to find 2. They're going to find 1, and Zell finding 2 of their own. Ixie is going to resurrect Night Knight. But there's just so many people here on the point for Stealth that I feel like this is going to be a fight when Night Knight pretty much alone here. The Mercy is going to try and come in to help heal up. But as long as this fight continues with the way it's going, the Respawn are going to come in on the side of Salt. But as they come in, the Shatter is going to come in as Night Knight goes. When Night Knight goes down, that Shatter is just almost free for that Asian. South RTG is going to take down Yixi as well. The Mercy, that primary source of healing, Widowmaker is going to try and use the Coalescence. They're going to get 3 picks here off of the back of that Coalescence. That healing is going to provide, as well as the damage, taking a kill onto the Genji, and they're actually going to stabilize here what I thought was a lost fight, and they're going to bring it back from the brink and push up aggressive again.
You see those teams falling back, and you know, K-Wing, I'll tell you something, dude. You have no idea how disorienting it is to hear your name called out in the middle of the scrim while you're casting. To say the least.
Oh, absolutely. I have never had that problem, but oh, the Nanoblade comes out, and it gets grabbed immediately. The Dragons are going to come out a little late, but it's going to find Ghosty Man as well. 2 picks coming in on both sides. Both the DPS down for both of these teams. Silver going to find the pickup onto Kashishe. And that is a vital pick because the main support, always important. The Shatter is going to come in just to seal the deal here. Zell is going to go down, and that looks like it will be the round for, that will be the round, pushing 0.1, 108.76 meters. That's pretty far, but definitely doable if you are Salt.
A very, very admirable display for Stealth there. Streets is one of those big phases that can either make or break a team. That's pretty much, the Streets phase is probably the hardest in a lot of people's eyes, solely because of the fact that it's generally, you know, the most confined, so there isn't a lot of room to work, and you know, we kind of saw that, you know, coming in from King's Row.
Yeah, absolutely. King's Row is such a confined map, and especially that is why the Brawl comp works so well, because there's not a lot of mobility. You can't really get around it. There's not a lot of flank routes. It's a very closed map, and it's a very tight map as well. So these Rhine swings of the hammer are just able to find so many people compared to on a more open map where you can just sort of move to the side of them.
Similar to what? First point junk?
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to talk about open maps.
Yeah, that's absolutely the kind of the opposite of this, but both are good Widowmaker maps just because of the long sight lines, and that is why we do see the Devil Sniper coming out here from stealth again. We see the damage boosted Axe, that thing that I've been talking about for so long. We do see Ghosty Man as well with the Ixie getting on this farmer Z, trying to show stealth and show stealth how it's done, I guess.
Give them a little bit of their own message. Oh, but
yeah,
stealth just
is going to take them down. But again, Yuki is going to get the resurrect off. Stealth is going to get res as well. But a lot of picks more than one pick came in on the side of Salt, and they're going to get these picks that are going to be necessary to take point A.
Salt showing how dominant they are today, saying, hey, you know, we're going to finish the season up 2-1. We ain't taking a loss from you, especially with these first two maps here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see this point is going to be kept very soon as they go into street phase. They're going to have a lot of time coming in here. They're going to have a whole 5.5 minutes coming in here, and they do push up aggressive. Ghosty Man is going to take his time to pick up on a Stealth, who has switched onto the Pharah here. You see Widowmaker coming out, Obi-Wan going onto the Widowmaker. Instead, we do see the Graviton Surge comes out, but Silver is going to go down. It's going to catch Obi-Wan, but Silver is going to come out. Ghosty Man is going to try to pick off onto Zell, as well as that Asian, going to pick off onto his counterpart there, but a lot of Resurrects coming in here. And the cart still moving just because of how far Salt pushed up here. It didn't horribly make a difference whether or not the cart was going to move up, because it's going to move up anyway. It's just a matter of when Stealth is going to contest here. The Shatter! The Blade Shatter coming in onto that Asian. He's going to die with his Shatter. That Asian will not have the Shatter for this upcoming fight. He's going to have to come back. The barrage coming in on the side of Ghost Man, going to get taken down. Obi-Wan trading for that, but going to get resurrected immediately is Ghosty Man. The Immortality is going to come out, but just so many eliminations coming in here for Salt. I don't know if they're even going to be able to contest. I don't know if Salt is going to be able to even touch, and I don't think they are.
A contest here, unfortunately, and that is King's Row going to Salt.
Yeah, absolutely. King's Row going to Salt. That is 2-0. A good showing for Salt here, going up, as I said, 2-0. We are going to see Zell. Good job there. Going on to seeing with this Graviton Surge coming out, finding the picks to win that fight very convincingly as well.
Yeah, we're seeing a very different game than what we saw in Nepal here. Salt just not taking crap from anyone that round and just saying, hey, we're here, we're the better team. Now show us what you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a powerful statement that they've made coming in and taking King's Row so dominantly. That Streets, they took point A so completely, so quick, and then Streets just felt like one continuous roll after another.
Yeah, and when you're pushed that far up, there's nothing you can really do in that situation for the defending team. It's just it's crazy. But that does lead us into our lovely halftime video that we got going on here. K-Wing, do you have anything to say to our lovely viewers before we get going?
I do not, but I'm excited to see what is going to happen when we come back from our halftime. Will Stealth start the reverse sweep, or is Salt going to continue their dominant form and take the sweep?
Make sure you guys grab some water, grab some popcorn, use the facilities, because this might be a pretty good game that we're about to see here. We'll see you guys in about 5 minutes.
Break it down!
You're powered up. Get in there.
And we are back with Stealth versus Salt. Before we went to halftime, we had Salt going up 2-0. And we're going to go into our third map of the day here. We're going to be going to our next map, which is going to be Rialto. So, Rialto, what are we thinking for sort of team comps on Rialto? Because there's a lot that can be done, really.
Honestly, when it comes to Rialto specifically, on those first 2 points, you might see a little bit of dive. There's a lot of high ground that they can utilize, along with the fact that it's also a fairly open map at the same time. So who knows? We might see a little bit of dive utilized here, depending on what teams are comfortable with. But aside from that, we're probably going to see Sigma Rhine, Orisa Sigma, Rhine Zarya. I'm not really expecting much else. Most likely, what I'm thinking is that we're going to see a Zarya on first point right by, or not Zarya, an Orisa first point right by that bridge.
Yeah, I mean, so more in general, we saw Salt go pretty dominant against Stealth, going up 2-0, especially in our second map, King's Row, as Salt finished what they needed to get to in pretty time compared to Stealth. So, what does Stealth need to do to counter Salt here?
Honestly, what Stealth needs to do is they need to start being the aggressors in fights. I've noticed that they're not the aggressors in fights that they tend to lose. What they need to do is they need to start walking up. They need to start taking more space, and they need to actually assert their dominance against the powerful tank line that Salt has.
All right, so as soon as these teams are ready, we are going to get into Rialto here. We're going to be going into our escort map. So I'm very excited to see what happens with these two teams, whether Salt is going to just pull out the 4-0 sweep or Stealth is going to come back.
All right, and we do have the ready coming out for both teams here. Let go, boys!
Yeah,
oh wait a second! Wait a
that's
second!
Not Rialto.
That is not the right map.
Surprise, surprise! We're going back to Kings Row again. You thought it was Rialto. It was actually Kings Row.
Oh my god! Now I feel so stupid, dude. That's my job. I failed my job. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize.
Oh, it's no big deal. As we get into Rialto for real this time. Absolutely
take two.
Yeah, that didn't happen. We're, good thing this isn't live. We can edit that out in post.
we can edit that out in post, right, guys?
Our producer is telling us that this is live and that this bit is also stupid.
Wait, we're live? Oh no, dude. I'm kidding. All right, we got the lovely game coming out here for Rialto. I know we are seeing Stealth here pick up that Sombra. Athena's letting us see. We're just like, yes, we get a sneak peek. Night picking up the Orisa as well. I called it, man. I called it.
You did. We also see some. We see the Winston Zarya on the side of Stealth, which has been pretty meta in sort of tier 1. But again, that is Stealth are the attackers here, so they are able to switch pretty quickly because they are in their spawn for another 20 seconds. But on the defense, we do have the Orisa Roadhog, the pulled pork, if you will.
Did you just call it the pulled pork?
Yeah, absolutely.
I am disappointed in you. That was...
I'm not.
I always called it the Oink and Yoink, but...
Oh, the Oink and Yoink. I might steal that myself. But as we get into this next map here, look for the halt hook combo from the Orisa Roadhog. That's why it's called pulled pork or the Oink and Yoink. Or just the attempt to halt off the bridge. Doesn't look like it will work in this first thing, but it does look like Wasp on the Widowmaker is going to be getting harassed by Stealth. They are going to just get away there with just a sliver of HP left. That was crucial and a good peel off of Widowmaker and Yixi to help Wasp stay alive there and keep the Sombra off of them. And then they're able to get picks like that, Wasp taking down that Asian on the Winston, and that is a crucial part of the dive gone there. And you see again, Stealth looks like she's going to go for Yixi there, going to try and harass the Ana, just try and divert attention so that the rest of Stealth can go in there.
Honestly, we're just kind of waiting around here and seeing, but that Asian needs to start taking advantage of the super diveable Ana that we see in the backline. We need to be a little bit more aggressive on that, especially with Yixi as far in the back as she is.
Yeah, absolutely. Ana is such a diveable target there, and especially if you get the hack on to her, as we just saw there, that Blade is going to come out from Obi-Wan and is going to get 2. Wasp and Yixi are going to go down because of it, and that is a good, clean fight for Stealth there. They're going to start pushing this payload further and further into this point 1.
Very clean fight when, and as you were saying, once you get that hack off, it's kind of all over for the Ana. She has no way to defend herself whatsoever. And it just showed right there. But we are seeing Silver just kind of looking for the hook a little bit, seeing if he can get a cheeky hook off.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bonga's going to come out, a little bit of a desperation Bonga there. Not really behind anything like you would really want, but so many picks, so many ults coming in. I think that was all 6 ultimates at once from Salt. They will stabilize, but they use every single Q that they had.
That is what my coach likes to call yeeting the board. It's like the analogy that I was given was, imagine you're losing in chess, so you just flip the entire board over.
That's kind of funny, but it really is though, because now you look and there's no ultimates on the side of Salt. They're 31% to their closest ultimate, and on the side of Stealth they have 3, and the ultimate that comes in is that EMP. It's gonna catch 6. That's huge there. They're just going to have, and Salt is just going to have to run away at that point, just because of how much pressure that EMP puts on them. That Asian is going to use the time look at
Zell just getting absolutely saved by the banister on that bridge.
Yeah, absolutely. That banister has prevented many a Lucio and many an Orisa from getting the environmental kill that they live for. Trust me, I know. I play Lucio, and it's what I live for.
You live for those lovely boops.
I do. I absolutely do. As we get into this second point, this sort of streets phase of Rialto here. A lot of good places to hold here. You have that high ground there across the bridge, but Salt is not able to hold there. Wasp gets pick off onto that Asian. A very important pick, that Winston. Such a crucial linchpin in Stealth roster there. And once that Winston goes, so goes the team, and you see the clean fight win for Salt, and they're gonna push them back across the bridge.
Oh, and we also see Widowfaker taking out Stealth. That is not a good sign here. You gotta wait that extra 10 seconds for the respawn in order to go off.
Yeah, absolutely. Those late picks are crucial in Overwatch. 10 seconds may not seem like a lot, but it is always important. Every second in Overwatch is so important. We're gonna see the Nano Blades coming in on both sides. It is just an arms race to the back line for these Genjis. They're going to trade blade kills, and I'm not even sure which team is up here. It does look like Stealth are going to go up here in picks of only a few people left on cart. It's gonna be Silver, and that is going to be it. Stealth are going to take that fight.
On the plus side as well, they didn't have to use their Graviton Surge, and Stealth is coming up on their EMP here. So I think what they're looking for is the Graviton Surge, and then they're going to wait until Widow uses their beat, and then they're just going to EMP it away.
Well, they can't EMP anymore. Stealth is going down there. The Graviton Surge is going to come out, however, regardless though. But Wasp finds the pick on the dead Asian. They're down 2 now, and that is a crucial loss of people on the side of Stealth there. They're going to be pushed back again.
I think that might have been a little bit of a miscommunication there between Zell and Stealth, especially with Stealth being dead. That would have been the crucial play there. It was Stealth being alive, being able to EMP away that beat, along with them not having any abilities. That would have been a one fight there, but unfortunately Zell just threw the grab away.
Yeah, absolutely. As a Lucio player, you are so scared of that Sombra because that EMP can just delete your beat drop, your ultimate, because it just deletes those shields. And the EMP does find a lot for their 8, but the members of Assault are able to back away there and sort of kite it out. Wasp is going to get 2 picks, one with the Bob and one with the Primary Fire Night Knight. Going to get the charge onto Red Hoodie, and that is just another clean fight for Stealth. 20 seconds left for them. They need to get on this point, and they need to regroup fast here.
We got Red Hoodie switching over to the Lucio here, and Stealth switching onto the legs. They might be able to get one touch in, but it's got to be fast.
Yeah, absolutely. That Troy, that Lucio is just there for the aforementioned fast, but the Nano Blade is going to come in. The Winston is going to try and touch, and he will, but he's just taken down so fast. The Boostio coming out from Taduche onto Red Hoodie, just nanoing whoever they could there, and it's going to wear off, and Red Hoodie just going to try and dance around the point a little bit, just stall out, try and get anyone else on the point. Maybe Stealth is going to come back to that
overtime
point.
ticks down.
72.71 meters for Stealth, and that is all that Salt has to push to get the win in this match, and their third to go 3-0 here.
You know, honestly, it's always super interesting to see what teams come up with, and honestly, the Monkey Zarya is insane. That was not a comp that I was expecting to play.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Monkeys area, as I've said, has been pretty popular in sort of tier 1 in the Overwatch League. So it is popular for a reason, as we just saw the the finals of their summer showdown happening today.
You know, who knows what we'll be able to see. We do see the Sigma Orisa coming out here. It'll just be interesting.
In 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Sigma Orisa, that double shield comp coming in, a very popular meta strategy, has been meta for a very long time, just with how much shields that Sigma and Orisa are able to put down so consistently. Orisa able to just make so much, so much defensive space with their shields and with their abilities. It's honestly insane with how much pressure they're able to put. So we do see Ghosty Man on the Pharah. We do the Pharah Mercy again coming out on the side of Salt there. Going to go again for that comp that we thought that we'd see Stealth on pretty consistently. And they're going to be going on it. No picks there, but that Asian is going to fall low. He's going to get healed up. Stealth finally pick up onto Wasp. It's going to bring out the Resurrect, but that Asian is going to go down by Silver. And I don't think it's going to be able to, they're going to be able to resurrect that. Oh yeah, Kashushe going down, and the defenders here, Stealth, are going to be pushed back again, and these late staggers are critical. Red Hoodie needs to get out of there alive, but they will not, and that might just be this first point there with how late those staggers came in.
We're just seeing absolutely amazing plays coming out for both teams, but Salt is just showing their dominance.
Absolutely an OP1. Finding the pickoff onto Wasp may be what they need, but immediately it is res, and that is first point. 5.5 minutes. This feels like deja vu from King's Row. If you are Stealth here, you need to pull off a monster hold and prevent Stealth from pushing the 72 meters that they so need. Oh no, Kashushe pulls out the Valkyrie only to get immediately jumped on by a very angry Wisp.
Very, very solid plays coming out for both teams, but it's just Salt is just taking all of the map space that they want in this world, and Stealth isn't doing anything about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So much pressure is being put on. They're acting like they're going to be pushing through point B, but all they need is 72 meters. The Gravitic Flux is going to come in, catches 4, and it is going to take some damage down, but Yixi immediately pulls out that Valkyrie, and Salt just has so much ultimates, so many ultimates there. Ghostman going to find 2 with the Barrage, and there's so many picks coming here. Zell, the only one left on point. Nano Sigma, very powerful, but just with so many people on the point, it's not enough, and that is map 3 going to NaCl. Salt is going to take this series 3-0, but we are going to play a 4th map, 4-map differential here. And if you're Stealth, this is a brutal time where you are down 3-0. You're not going to win this series, but you have to play a 4th map just to even say that you didn't
get the map differential. Yeah. I mean, it's just insane looking at what we have going on. We saw such an even game the first map, and Stealth just not even baring their teeth to Salt's just complete dominance.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been just a absolutely dominant play from Salt here, and it's just going to be hard as we go into our 4th and final map, which is Temple of Anubis. What are we looking for Temple of Anubis here for Stealth to even get a point on the board?
Honestly, what I want to see is Stealth actually take the time to be the aggressors. We're not really seeing that in this situation, and that's what's causing them to lose those fights because Salt is pushed so far up that they have to use ults and they have to throw away a bunch of cooldowns just to even get a semblance of point dominance back.
Yeah, absolutely. That is just a sign of how dominant Salt has been in this neutral game, that Stealth just needs ultimates to even get a foot in the door here. So Temple of Anubis, a very good map for a lot of different characters, even some maybe considered off-meta picks. We've seen a lot of different stuff. We've seen Junkrat, we've seen Pharah, Widowmaker. There's so much that can come out here. Temple of Anubis, as well as just most other assault maps, are home to some Symmetra teleporter strategies on the attack first point. I'm interested to see what strategies Stealth are going to pull out, being the attackers here for first point.
All right, as we get ready for the teams here, I'm kind of interested to see what Stealth has to say. They're like, are we gonna go down fighting? Who knows? Maybe the reason that they were so even on King of the Hill was because of the fact that they're more comfortable on point style maps. And if that's the case, who knows? We might be able to see them take a map away here.
The Temple of Anubis.
Absolutely. I'm interested to see what is going to happen here as we get into this. And as I said, we do see the Junkrat, the J Silly, coming out from Ghosty Man. And I'm interested to see if he's going to stick with this. But again, Junkrat just so very powerful on first point because all of the passages to to objective A are so tight and so easy to just spam down with Junkrat, and with those grenades just find such good picks and such quick picks, just with those grenades doing 120 damage a pop if you're directly hit by them, and with so much splash damage and your team members so close, Junkrat is such a dominant pick here, and Ghosty Man coming out on the Junkrat. I'm interested to see what he's going to do with his ultimate. Riptire, such an incredible ultimate, can be feast or famine ultimates almost, getting either destroyed or finding like 4 or 5 picks. I've seen it all here.
Yeah, I managed to pull off a lovely 4K on King's Row last night using lovely Junkrat tire, but I completely understand. It's definitely an all or nothing style of ult.
Yeah, as we see here, we do have the Rein Zarya. We do the Brawl strategy coming out on the side of Stealth here with the Widowmaker as well, looking to find some early picks. That sniper style of gameplay with just the immense amount of damage here. And as I said, just going into that room, good anti-nade coming out here from Widowfaker. Oh, the Silver and Soitep are going to go in really aggressive. Zell's going to get to pick up NaCl.exe, which is a very big pick. Mercy, such an important character in the setup, but just with how many picks come in on the side of Assault, it's just so fast and such a quick and clean, decisive fight for Assault here defending point A.
If Stealth is able to come back right now with their entire team, they might be able to get in good, but it looks like Ghosty was already ready for that. They went back and picked up their Mercy.
Yeah, that is absolutely a great team play. That's not going to show up on any play of the games, but it's such a good and such a mindful play there to go and pick up your Mercy there because you have that mobility as Junkrat. You have those mines. Ghosty Man getting the pick up onto Red Hoodie, getting so much ult charge here, 72% to ultimate. The Shatter comes in, finds 2, but the counter Shatter coming in on the side. The Silver is going to find a lot of success for Assault here. Ghosty Man very close to that Riptire, but not a lot of other ultimates. Well, not a lot of other ultimates. They're going to come online here for us. Oh, they're going to have the Nano, but they're not close to any of the other ultimates. They're not close to Blaze, they're not close to Rally, and they're going to be looking for anything that they can find. Obi-Wan is going to be very crucial here. If he can find any picks, the Ghosty Man find the early pick onto Kshushe is going to be clutch here. The Griddick Flux is going to catch the Brigitte in the air, going to go down, and that is another good fight here for Stealth. And maybe we were correct here that maybe Assault is just more comfortable on these point maps, and we've just seen an almost complete about we've just seen a very interesting defense here from Assault, as I realized that I mixed up the teams for a second.
No worries. You know, honestly, it's definitely interesting to look at here. You have Zell and Z8 kind of swapping around. Zell playing the main tank this time instead of playing the off tank like they have been most of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see Sartap getting a few picks here on the Sigma, getting 3 here, and we have a minute left for Stealth. They're going to need a big push here. They do have the Nano Blade, and that is, in my opinion, their win condition, but there's so many ultimates on the side of Salt here. They have the Junkrat Tire, the Ad, the Bob, the Valkyrie, and the Nano. There's just so much that they can do. They're also coming on the Shatter. 5 ultimates. Both the GPS ultimates are going to come in 2 picks from that Junkrat Tire. Huge going down so quickly. There's 1 fight left for Stealth to get together any semblance of a push and try and get progress towards this point. Otherwise, it's going to be all over for them.
Yeah, honestly, what I would do in this situation, because there's no defensive ult, is I would just say screw it, and I would throw my tank. I would just grab Nano Blade.
Absolutely, the grab is going to come in. The Nano onto Silver is going to come in. Stealth RTG is going to find the pick, and there's going to be some point capture, but I don't know if it's going to last here. Dad Asian is going to pick up on trying to pick onto Silver, and it's going to be really, really close here. A scrappy fight on the point. We're going to see the trap coming in. Oh, Ghosty Main is going to trap Stealth RTG, and that is going to be overtime ticking down. Stealth not getting a tick on this point A of Temple of Anubis.
Score.
It might be because they're a little bit demoralized here, after losing 3 games and two of them not being the world's closest game. You might be a little bit demoralized and like, hey, we can't keep playing like this. And that might be what's being Stealth's downfall right now, is their own heads.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just such a horrible place to be in right now if you are Stealth, that you're down 3-0 and you can't even take a decisive map. You can't even take a victory here. You can only just try and full hold and get the draw. And if you even let a tick through on this point A, which is so easy to lose, you only have to lose 1 team fight, and it just seems, and you just lose that point. If you let even 1 tick through, you lose and you go 4-0. It's such a demoralizing thought.
Yeah, sorry, I was just kind of chuckling because I'm seeing the Symmetra here. It's just, yeah, I'm quite interested to see where Ghosty Man puts their teleporter.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of places that you can go with that Symmetra teleporter. You can go under the bridge and straight to point. You can go up to high ground. There's so much you can do with it. I'm interested to see what they're going to do and what the sort of finish is going to be. They put down the teleporter and what? What was that? Reinhardt Silver coming in from the top rope just with the charge.
If Zelda was ready for it, he would have swept away with that Reinhardt.
Absolutely, that would have been absolutely terrifying to see, but just such a quick and clean, decisive fight for Salt there. Salt taking the quick, clean 4-0 victory over Stealth there. Really good showing for Salt here.
Very, very strong showing for Salt, to say the least, taking Stealth out 4-0. But unfortunately, that is the end of the matches, at least. As we kind of, look back and see, what do you think that Stealth could have done better in these games?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been saying it the entire night here, but just being a little more aggressive and, trying to counter push and be the aggressors in this fight and not let Salt come to you, but go to Salt in this. And, if you're going to run the comps that you're going to run, you have to be the aggressor here. If you want to run that double shield, you have to poke, but if you want to run the brawl, you're going to have to be more aggressive and you're going to have to take fights.
Exactly. But that does lead us into our player of the match here. K-Wing, would you like to do the honors of going first?
I will go first. My player of the match has to be, I'm going to give some tank love. I'm going to pick Silver. I just think that Silver throughout the match has been a really good tank, has been showing up in the kill feed pretty well as well, just with how well he's been doing. It's not as much of a flashy pick. He wasn't lighting up the kill feed throughout the match, but I think that just really good, really solid performance from Silver there. So Silver has to be my player of the match. What about you?
Honestly, and even though I am a DPS player, I have to give my player of the match today to Widowfaker. I was seeing an absurd amount of antis coming out from her that were just so valuable. You got most of the time I was seeing at least 3 people being antied with any given nade that she was throwing. Aside from the fact that she was like when she wasn't playing Ana, she was still being useful on whatever healer that she was playing. So my player of the match, my MVP, I guess, is going to Widowfaker.
Yeah, absolutely. It was such a good match here today. And as we look forward, Zell, what's coming up next for OCC?
Well, what is coming up next for OCC? We have tomorrow. Let's see here. Tomorrow we have. What is it? What's tomorrow? The 10th.
Tomorrow is the 10th, yes.
So the 10th. Lovely. Tomorrow, Monday, the 10th, we have a exhibition game. Game of Thrones versus Phoenix Rising in a four map game of Mystery Heroes.
That's
Aside from I know that's a bit interesting. But yeah, so an exhibition match on the 10th being Game of Thrones versus PR, playing a lovely match of Mystery Heroes. Saturday the 15th we have Lotus versus United Moose. That'll be a little bit of an interesting one to watch as United Moose is pretty much completely rebuilt. And then next Sunday, next week, 7 days from now, we have Calamity versus Stealth.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting here. Stealth has 7 days to work on sort of their fundamentals and work on sort of strengthening themselves up to see if they can take on Calamity, a team that has, even in this stage, shown very dominant fashion, being the one loss in Salt's record here. And they are a very dominant team. So I'm interested to see if Stealth can do enough work and just see. I'm interested to see if they can come back and they can show up and do very well against Calamity there.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that does bring us to the end of our lovely program. If you want to do something like what Cal and I are doing here on the lovely program, you can join our Discord, fill out the application to be either a color commentator or a play-by-play. That should be available down in our description, as well as our Discord link, along with being a player. Or if you want to be, the guy that's kind of behind the camera, like our lovely producer DJ here today, should also be there for you. We are also always in need of players and coaches and just general community members. We love our community out here in OCC. So do not be afraid to go down and join our Discord. I believe that is all today. Kay, do you have anything else to say?
No, absolutely. I'm looking forward to the next games, the next few weeks as we close out the last few weeks of Stage 2 of Season 3 of OCC. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the final ranks are going to come out. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen going into the finals.
Yeah. But with that being all, we hope you guys have a fantastic night. I have been your color commentator, Zell.
And I have been your play-by-play commentator, K-Wing.
You guys have a fantastic night. Thank you and goodbye.
Good night.